When I first visited Catalina Island back in the early 2000s, my wife and I stayed in a little bed and breakfast just off of Catalina Avenue. We'd been working long hours producing a film on the new topic of clean, quiet fuel cell vehicle technology, and we were looking to catch up on some much-needed sleep. What we weren't prepared for was the constant noise from the internal combustion engine golf cars that ran through the town and just below our bedroom window. We thought to ourselves, boy, this place could sure benefit from fuel cell electric vehicles. Fast forward to today, a few years later, 16 to be exact, and after a fair amount of R&D and investment, the Origin Fuel Cell Quiet Power 4 is here. We decided to put the QP4 to the test on the challenging hilly topography of the island. We simulated a full day's usage of one of the rental fleet golf cars during peak season. 6 loops on the 12-mile course.
All right, so it's 10:45. It is our first trial run. We have a full tank of methanol. Yeah, let's see how this thing performs. First good hill climb. Another beautiful day in Catalina Island. One of the nice things about this configuration is you can actually hear yourself have a conversation.
Enjoy the beautiful scenery.
And that's the competition right there.
Noisy and smelly.
How far are we in?
In terms of distance, we're 3 miles. Fuel cell is now up to full power. So we're getting right now 1100 watts out of the fuel cell.
Our friends at the city and the fire department. Coming up on the Wrigley Memorial Botanical Gardens. All right, it's 11:10. We're going to go do one of the more challenging hills on the 12-mile loop.
Yeah. My kids like pressing that when I was letting them drive it.
And another good uphill.
Top of the hill. Big hills I've seen as high as 220 amps being pulled. So it's a heavy sustained load, and we'll see how much we recover going down here. Fuel cell still looks strong, pumping out a steady 23 amps.
Electrics are just a dream to come down the hills because it just self-brakes. Compared to the IC cars, they're a little squirrely and they're actually a little scary coming into a turn and a stop. So there's a lot of positives in that aspect as well. And the rental fleet operators will tell you they'd love to use these electrics. They just the electric on its own just can't cut it. It maybe gets one and a half loops on it and they're done for the day. What we have here is a fuel cell hybrid where we have a battery, a set of batteries that are being constantly charged by a fuel cell. Driven by methanol to generate the electricity, liquid electricity, if you will. And it's clean, it's quiet. The fill up is 3 minutes compared to hours and hours. So there's nothing we can do about making that quieter. See what our numbers look like. And it looks like all the golf cars are out. Everything is out. There we go. We just did our first test all the way around. The full loop. We're looking at the data now.
Looks good, yeah.
Okay, this is run number 2. This is the start of our first climb. You can hear the noise. Not only can you hear the noise, you can smell the exhaust. It definitely gets your eyes burning.
One of the challenges facing the residents of Avalon is the lack of garages and driveways for charging electric golf cars. Given this fact, most residents have no choice but to purchase a vehicle with an internal combustion engine. It is our hope that beginning with the tourist rental fleet, Origin's no plug-in technology will allow everyone on Catalina Island to own and operate a quiet, clean-running electric golf car. Over the next 4 hours, we completed 4 more loops on the 12-mile golf car rental course. We ran the vehicle non-stop with the exception of a brief lunch break and short routine stops for data capturing and recording. The Origin fuel cell system maintained constant power to the onboard batteries as projected, requiring no plugging in or downtime for additional charging. When considering transportation options, in addition to functionality and ease of use, safety is a key factor. Fuel cells are inherently safer than traditional IC engines given that fuel cells require no combustion. When you compare methanol to gasoline as a fuel, methanol is indeed safer.
Somebody wrecks the car. What are the chances for the car to catch on fire?
It's less than gasoline because it's methanol. It's probably more physically contained than your plastic tank that you have there because we're inside a
It
metal
has
shell.
a 30% higher splash point than gasoline. So you literally have to light the lighter and keep it there for like a couple of seconds before it catches fire. What the fuel cell actually runs on is only 3% methanol and 92% water.
A direct methanol fuel cell is actually very simple. There are no moving parts. At the heart of the fuel cell is the MEA, short for membrane electrode assembly. In a direct methanol fuel cell, a mixture of water and methanol enters the anode side of the MEA and is oxidized in the presence of a catalyst into CO2 and a proton-electron pair. The proton passes through the MEA over the cathode side of the MEA. In the process, the electron splits off and travels through a wire, which is how we generate power. The electron continues through the wire around the MEA until it arrives at the cathode, where the proton and electron are reunited in the presence of oxygen, creating H2O, or pure water.
So what does the recharging system, how long does it take? What do you do? Just plug it in?
It's happening right now.
Yeah.
What you're hearing, what you're not hearing, is really the fuel cell, which is so quiet, just constantly keeping power to the batteries. So it's perpetual power.
Even if we had a battery chemistry that could do the job for the rental cycle, that would be a battery that is something like 5 kilowatt hours worth of energy in the battery. Even if you had a chemistry where you could charge it in 10 minutes, which is still longer than what you would do with filling your tank with gasoline or with liquid methanol, in our case. In order to charge that electricity, you need 30 kilowatts of power to deliver that energy in that period of time. So the strain on the grid would be phenomenal.
So to try to factor that up for the entire fleet of 115 vehicles.
That's for one. That's for
one car. It doesn't work. It doesn't change your business model. You know, it'll run just like your other cars. It just doesn't have the noise and the pollution. You can fill it up the same way.
Well, hopefully one day we'll have 85 of these ones.
The car's been running since roughly 10:30 this morning. The fuel cell's generating power just as we expected. There's been no plug-in. We filled up this morning with methanol and we're still running. So a very good test. The end of loop number 6. 6 loops.
Been going all day.
Fantastic!
So.
At Origin, we're excited to bring a technology that enhances the living experience for both the residents of Avalon and the over 1 million annual visitors to Santa Catalina Island. The Quiet Power 4 is here, and not a moment too soon.